It's funny what your brain does when you're not fully there. Like right now, look at us. We are both wearing shades of green.
Huh. Yeah, I noticed that too. Maybe it's a coincidence.
Maybe. Or maybe my brain was having this whole internal argument this morning about millennial green. You know that soft muted sage color, the one everyone seems to paint their kitchen?
Oh, yeah, I know the one. My shirt's kind of like that.
Mine too.
Ugh.
See? It's like our subconscious minds are plotting, maybe hinting at needing some calm before we dive in today.
A subtle setup, perhaps, because, yeah, we are diving into something pretty deep today.
Exactly. Because, the matching shirts, that's fun, but it points to something bigger.
Hmm.
The really strange, sometimes surprising, and honestly, sometimes terrifying things our minds get up to when they're supposed to be,
Right.
well, off, asleep.
Right. So today we're taking a deep dive. We've got this stack of really fascinating sources, personal stories, scientific research, even some pretty chilling legal transcripts.
And the mission,
The mission is to explore this whole world of sleep disorders, these unconscious actions. What happens when that line between dreams and reality just gets blurry?
we want to pull out the key insights, the most surprising facts about what's really going on when we think we're just sleeping.
Or think we're sleeping, yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. I mean, think about how much of our lives happens outside our conscious control.
Totally.
Like driving in what I call NPC mode,
Yeah.
non-player character mode.
Huh. Yeah, like you snap back and you're like, how did I get here?
Exactly. You've been on autopilot for 10 minutes, no memory of the actual drive. That's just the normal stuff, though. Then there's the really bizarre end of the spectrum.
And our sources are packed with these wild personal stories that are somehow relatable but also unsettling.
Yeah, like one account, someone stopped breathing in a nightmare about killer bees
Mm.
and actually felt the stinger going in.
Oh, wow. That's intense. Feeling stuff in dreams is weird enough, but that...
It's incredible how real they can feel. And what about those dreams that feel like a whole lifetime compressed?
Right. We saw one story. Someone dreamed they had a baby, bonded with it deeply.
Oh, no.
Yeah, then the baby starts choking, disappears, and there's this man outside doing terrible things with another baby, woke up feeling like they had to mourn a child they never even had.
That's devastating. And other ones, too, like disturbing pregnancy dreams, giving birth through your feet to a mermaid baby that dies.
It's amazing how dreams tap into our deepest fears, isn't it? The emotional hit from those can stick with you all day.
Definitely. That lingering sadness or fear.
Yeah.
It's real.
It really shows the power of the unconscious mind to process and project our anxieties.
Which leads us straight into the spectrum of sleep disorders,
Right.
starting with maybe the most terrifying, sleep paralysis.
Yeah, that's rough. You wake up, but you're totally frozen, can't move, can't scream.
And then the figures,
Hmm.
the shadowy figures looming, the hag, the demon.
Yeah, one person in the sources described seeing a demon-like black shadowy thing in the corner.
Yeah.
Just there.
But it varies, right? Another account mentioned waking up and just knowing a woman was standing between their closets.
Yeah.
Not scary, just present.
Exactly. That variety from pure terror to just unsettling awareness, it highlights how complex that state between sleep and waking is.
Like part of your brain's awake, but the REM part is still going strong, cooking up hallucinations.
Precisely. Then you've got REM sleep behavior disorder, RBD.
This is where you don't just dream violently, you act it out.
Kicking, punching, screaming, sometimes even attacking your partner, your nightmares literally spilling into reality.
And the sources mention this can be like a form of sleepwalking, right? Sometimes lucid, sometimes not. And things like melatonin or even cheese could trigger it.
Yeah, some reports suggested triggers like that. It's like you're living through something you have zero control over.
Which gets confused with classic sleepwalking sometimes.
Right, which is its own big category. We think of the blank-eyed wandering, but it can get way more extreme.
Cooking, driving, leaving the house.
Speaking in tongues, committing crimes. We even found accounts of people waking up in graveyards with no clue how they got there.
The stories are just wild. Someone putting whole cartons of eggs in their bed
Yeah,
and sleeping with them.
that was in there, yeah. Or pushing a family member down the stairs with zero memory afterwards.
It's honestly hard to believe.
Well, given how bizarre reality can be, our sources had this fun little game to illustrate it. You want to play? 2 Truths and a Lie, Sleepwalking Edition.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. First scenario, truth or lie. 1, woke up naked in a shed. 2, went into the neighbor's house and took everything from their pantry. 3, opened every single Christmas present under the tree.
Naked in the shed sounds plausible, sadly. Opening presents? Maybe? Taking everything from the neighbor's pantry, that sounds
Right.
highly specific and legally tricky. I'll say number 2 is the lie.
You got it. The neighbor's pantry was safe, thankfully. But yeah, naked in the shed and opening all the presents. Reported sleepwalking incidents.
Wow. Okay, round 2.
Round 2. 1. Rearranged all the basement couches. 2. Used a Sharpie marker as makeup. 3. Woke up naked in the neighbor's car.
Okay. Sharpie makeup. I can almost picture that level of bizarre sleep logic. Waking up naked in a neighbor's car, that's quite something.
Yeah.
Rearranging couches seems almost mundane in comparison. I'm going to say number 1, rearranging couches, is the lie.
Correct again. No couch rearranging reported. But yes, Sharpie makeup and waking up naked in the neighbor's car apparently happen. People do the absolute wildest things.
It really shows the complexity, doesn't it? The brain's sleep-wake cycles are so delicate. Our conscious self is just the tip of the iceberg.
So much operates on this automatic ancient level that can just go haywire.
Profoundly haywire sometimes.
Okay, moving on. Night terrors. How are they different from nightmares?
They hit during deep sleep, usually stage 3 or 4, not REM. And crucially, there's often no dream involved.
So you just scream.
Yeah, sit bolt upright, eyes wide, screaming in terror. But you're not really awake, and you usually have no memory of it the next day, just the echoes.
Yikes. There was that weird story about babysitting a kid with night terrors and the method to wake them.
Sticking their head in the freezer, which sounds drastic.
Yeah, really unsettling. Okay, what about exploding head syndrome?
Sounds dramatic, right? But it's this experience, usually as you're drifting off, suddenly, bam! A loud bang, like an explosion, but it's all internal.
Nobody else hears it.
Nope, just you. Not dangerous, apparently, but incredibly jarring. Lots of people report thinking a noise happened outside when it was all in their head.
I've definitely had that.
Yeah.
Thinking a door slammed or something fell. Creepy. Now, fatal familial insomnia. Yeah. This sounds like something out of a horror movie.
It really is. It's ultra rare, genetic, and you literally lose the ability to sleep.
Completely.
Always.
Yeah.
It starts with insomnia, progresses to hallucinations, panic attacks, dementia, and eventually death, all while you are painfully, agonizingly awake.
Oh my God. Can you imagine just waiting for that, knowing it's coming?
The ethical questions raised in the sources about, passing that gene on, it's profound. It's a real-life horror story running in families.
Just unimaginable suffering. Okay, shifting gears slightly. Sexomnia.
Yeah. This one gets attention. It's rare, but it involves engaging in sexual behavior while totally asleep. No awareness, no consent.
Like what kind of behavior?
Vocalizations, sometimes explicit comments, self-touching, or even initiating intimacy with a partner. The sources had accounts of people groping partners or making aggressive but maybe darkly funny comments while totally out.
Wow. Complex behaviors happening without any conscious driver.
Exactly. And then there's SUNDS, sudden unexplained nocturnal death syndrome.
This is terrifying. Young, healthy people, often Southeast Asian descent,
Huh?
just go to sleep and die.
Yeah. No warning, no prior conditions usually. They might scream in their sleep and then they're gone.
That's the origin of the nightmare kills you idea.
Yeah.
Inspired a Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's the connection, yeah. One account was just chilling. A 25-year-old driving with his mom says something's not right and just dies. No medical explanation. Heart just stopped.
Utterly terrifying. And lastly, confusional arousals.
This is where you sort of wake up physically, but your mind doesn't catch up.
So you're awake, but not really there.
Right. You might talk gibberish, get aggressive with loved ones, not even recognize yourself in the mirror. One story described a sister who would just stare and groan, not really awake, like she was stuck between worlds.
That's so spooky. Knowing someone's physically present but mentally elsewhere, sleep is just inherently creepy sometimes.
It really can be.
But it also seems to open doors to some, well, almost unbelievable experiences, like astral projection.
It's certainly a phenomenon people report. And yeah, incredible is one word. For some, it's profound spiritual. For others, maybe researchers, it might be seen as a powerful hallucination, a brain state misinterpretation.
So the idea is your consciousness, your astral body, leaves your physical body.
That's the concept, yeah. While your body rests, your mind can supposedly travel. Float above the bed, go through walls, visit places, even cross dimensions.
When does this happen?
People report it during deep meditation, near-death experiences, or commonly just during sleep.
And what's it like? Floating, seeing your own body.
That's a common description. Others talk about traveling, seeing people they know, meeting spirit guides or other astral travelers. Someone compared it to VR chat, which is an interesting modern take.
Like a shared non-physical space.
Kind of. But it's not always peaceful travels. There's definitely a reported dark side.
Like what?
People talk about being chased by entities, feeling watched, hearing whispers, fear of not being able to get back to their body, or worse, something else trying to get in.
Yikes. That's why some people do protection rituals, crystals, white light, that sort of thing.
Exactly. They believe you need to protect your vacated body.
And some people actively try to do this, like practice it.
Yeah, the sources mention people using specific techniques, finding the right vibe, a safe space, talking to spirit guides, getting insights. One person described it as a weekly practice, but only in a safe space, never a hotel room because the energy might be pampered with.
Okay, that leads to some of those chilling stories we found. The woman who Astral projected back to her childhood home.
Right. Years later, she intentionally thought of it, and boom, she felt she was there, floating. House looked the same, except
There was a strange man on the couch.
a man she didn't know, and he looked right at her, not just in her direction, and said, "You're not supposed to be here."
Creepy. And she just snapped back to her body.
Instantly. But the kicker, weeks later, she sees the house listed for sale online.
No.
And in the photos, same couch, same man.
Okay, that's seriously unsettling. Blurs the lines between perception and reality completely.
And the other one, the woman in Colorado meditating.
Felt a violent vibration.
Then suddenly, she's floating above herself and her husband in bed, sees the moonlight, hears the fan, watches him scratch his arm, tries to speak, nothing comes out. Then she sees a shadowy figure standing in the doorway, panics, slams back into her body, heart racing, turns to her husband.
And he says,
You were talking in your sleep. You kept saying, "Who's there?"
Oh, chills. That's pure nightmare fuel right there. But sometimes these strange sleep events aren't just personal nightmares, they actually end up in court.
exactly. Which brings us to this really profound, unsettling territory. When someone commits a violent crime, allegedly while sleepwalking. Big questions about consciousness, free will, responsibility.
And we have two major case studies that basically changed everything. First up, Albert Jackson Tyrrell, Boston, 1845.
Yeah, picture it. 19th century Boston, strict society. Albert's 22, handsome, rich kid, married, 2 kids, should be respectable.
But he wasn't.
He was restless. Got drawn into Boston's darker side, met Maria Bickford. She was 21, stunning, lady of the night, independent after some personal tragedy. And Albert became obsessed.
Totally obsessed. Blew his entire inheritance, like $8,000 back then, maybe $250,000 today on her in weeks.
Wow.
Their relationship was apparently super volatile, passion, fights, making up. But by late 1845, his money's gone, wife suspicious, Maria's maybe pulling away.
So October 27th, 1845, he goes to her boarding house.
Yep. Owner hears arguing, then silence. Around 5 a.m., a blood-curdling scream, a thud, front door slams. Owner checks Maria's room.
It's horrific.
Beyond horrific, Maria's throat cut ear to ear, almost decapitated, 3 fires set in the room, and Albert vanished.
Which starts a massive manhunt.
The greatest manhunt of the 1840s, apparently. Took 6 months. They finally caught him way down in New Orleans. Trial back in Boston, March 1846. Huge sensation.
Prosecution must have thought they had it locked down. Motive, opportunity, evidence. He fled.
Looked like a slam dunk. But Albert's family hired Rufus Choate, the wizard of the law. Guy never lost a murder case.
And Choate pulls out something completely new.
Totally unprecedented. The courtroom apparently erupted. He introduces this sleepwalking defense.
In 1846.
In 1846, he argues Albert wasn't conscious. He was asleep, sleepwalking. And a sleeping mind can't be held responsible.
How did he even try to prove that?
Family testimony, lifelong history of violent sleepwalking, threatening a cousin with a knife, standing at an open window in winter. And crucially, he got Dr. Walter Channing, dean of Harvard Medical School.
A Harvard dean.
Yep. To testify revolutionary stuff back then that a sleepwalker could do it, could rise in the night, dress himself, commit murder, set a fire, and make an escape. Completely challenged the common understanding of consciousness.
So the closing argument.
Choate's 6-hour closing was legendary. He basically mesmerized the jury. How can you punish him if his mind was absent?
And the verdict.
Less than 2 hours deliberation. Not guilty.
Wow. Shocking.
Huge shock. Established this massive legal precedent. Responsibility requires consciousness. Guilt demands awareness. Justice can't punish a sleeping mind. Set a huge standard for proving intent.
What happened to Albert?
Well, he walked free on the murder charge. Got convicted of adultery. Did 3 years. Ungratefully demanded Chart refund his fees.
Yeah.
Then just faded away. Died in 1880. Took the real truth with him.
But the legal precedent lived on. Okay, fast forward. 1987, Ontario, Canada. Kenneth Parks.
Ken Parks, 23, looked like he had it all: job, wife, baby, daughter, but secretly, massive gambling addiction.
Out of control.
Totally. Stole $30,000 from work, got fired, facing charges, crushing shame, but he was really close to his in-laws, Dennis and Barbara Woods. They called him her gentle giant. He even had a key to their house.
Was he going to tell them?
Yeah, he planned to confess everything that weekend, May 24th.
But something happened before he could.
Something unthinkable. Early morning, May 24th, Ken dozes off on the couch, then gets up, shoes, jacket, keys, drives 14 miles.
14 miles. While asleep.
That's the claim. A 20-30-minute drive, Pickering to Scarborough, 2 a.m., highways, streets. Uses his key to get into the in-laws' house, grabs a tire iron from the garage, and attacks both of them. Dennis, severely injured. Barbara, killed. Then he went back with a knife and attacked Barbara again.
Did he? Seem aware.
Reports say no recognition, no emotion. Methodical, but not calculated. And here's a key thing. He horribly injured his own hands, cut tendons, needed surgery, but showed no sign of feeling pain during or immediately after.
So what did he do then?
When the violence stopped, he seemed disoriented, covered in blood, drove straight to the police station, walked in and said, "I think I've killed some people. My hands, look at my hands."
Baffling. Because there was no motive, right? He loved his in-laws.
Exactly, no conflict. Losing them made his terrible situation even worse. And his actions after going straight to the police made no sense for a conscious killer. It was like NPC mode for murder, like you said.
So the defense went with sleepwalking again.
They did, and they had backup. Family history of sleep disorders. His grandfather supposedly made elaborate meals of sleep. Ken himself had reportedly done weird stuff like putting eggs in his bed, even pushing his mother downstairs while asleep.
And they got experts involved.
Yeah, Dr. Roger Broughton, a top neurophysiologist, did sleep studies, found Ken's brain waves were abnormal, theorized the extreme stress could absolutely trigger violent sleepwalking, even complex stuff like driving.
So the trial. Prosecution must have argued driving 14 miles is too complex for sleepwalking.
They did, argued it required conscious decisions. But the defense, with Dr. Broughton, countered that sleepwalking is way more complex than people think. The motor cortex can be active while higher brain functions are still asleep.
Meaning the body can do complex things while the conscious mind is offline.
Exactly. Body moving, mind asleep.
And the verdict this time.
Jury deliberated for 9 hours, then, not guilty, on both murder and attempted murder, accepted the sleepwalking defense,
Did it get appealed?
all the way to the Supreme Court of Canada. And in 1992, they unanimously upheld the acquittal.
Wow. And they established a specific legal term.
Yes, non-insane automatism. Crucial distinction. It means the actions were involuntary due to temporary unconsciousness, not mental illness. Your body acted, but your conscious mind wasn't driving.
So the state can't convict if your actions weren't consciously willed.
That was the principle. The state is not entitled to convict an accused whose actions were not the product of conscious violation.
So Ken Parks walked free too.
Yeah.
But not. Barbara Woods was dead. Dennis Woods traumatized. Huge questions left hanging.
Absolutely. Free will, accountability. How does the law handle this? Protect society, but acknowledge unconscious acts. And you have to wonder, did Ken ever sleepwalk violently again with all that stress?
Chilling thought. These cases really expose the dark potential when the mind's controls just slip during sleep.
And speaking of dark potential, to sort of wrap up our dive with something purely speculative but deeply unsettling, the sources included this fictional sleepy bedtime story.
Right, a dark exploration of sleep's extremes. Okay, set the scene.
3 girls, camping, weekend before senior year. Cassidy, the rebel, has a pill she stole nasty mix. Sleep meds, angel dust, steroids. She knows if you take it and fight sleep, weird things happen. Anna, the quiet one, draws the short straw, takes the pill.
Yeah.
Anna starts getting sleepy. Cassidy and Sarah try to keep her awake. First throwing rocks, then flicking fire embers onto her skirt, gets less playful, more mean. They start hitting her with sticks.
Oh, this is going mad.
Really bad, but they don't realize the pill has fully kicked in. Anna's inhibitions are gone. As they're hitting her, this rage builds. She catches a stick, eyes reflecting the fire.
What does she do?
Slams Cassidy onto a jagged branch, impales her like a skewer.
Jeez. What about Sarah?
Sarah's just staring, bewildered. Anna scrambles up a tree, jumps down onto Sarah with a log, pushes it right into her mouth, like Final Destination.
Oh my God.
Anna looks at the bodies and feels satisfied for the first time in her angsty teen life. The story ends revealing Cassidy didn't know her scientist mother had actually engineered that specific pill combo.
The end. Wow. That's dark. What a way to illustrate the potential loss of control.
It's certainly provocative.
So this whole deep dive, we've gone from everyday sleep oddities to terrifying disorders, astral mysteries, shocking legal cases, and even fictional horror.
It's clear that even with all our science, the sleeping mind is still one of the biggest mysteries out there. It controls so much, capable of incredible things, but also deeply unsettling actions when it goes off script.
Right. So the question to leave everyone with, maybe after digging into all this, the mind's capabilities, its vulnerabilities when unconscious. What does that make you reevaluate about your own sense of control, responsibility, even reality when you close your eyes at night?
Definitely something to think about.